oh, we can put everything rainbow order and then all your problems will be solved. Hey folks, it's Carrie from Pretty Neat. Thanks for joining me. So today I want to talk about a new show that's out on Netflix. It's called The Home Edit. And if you haven't heard of this yet, this is a show about organizing. It's these two professional organizers, Clea and Joanna. Their business is actually expanded into multiple cities, and they have a huge online presence, mostly due to their very aesthetically pleasing Instagram account. And they also work with a lot of celebrities. The show is produced by Reese Witherspoon's production company. And Reese Witherspoon actually makes an appearance in the first episode of the show when they come and organize her memorabilia from different movies that she's been in. So Clea and Joanna sell themselves as kind of these normal everyday people, and they try to really make themselves approachable. They talk a lot about how they don't know how to cook and that they struggle with motherhood and stuff like that. But then at the same time, they're like organizing Khloe Kardashian's garage. So it's just the same trappings of any reality show. It's not really reality. These women basically are running this huge business now. They actually have partnered with this production company, and what I'm assuming their corporate sponsor is the Container Store, and they're not just your average everyday person. And that doesn't make the show bad, but it's just something to be aware of, I think, as you're watching the show. So I have watched the episodes on Netflix of The Home Edit, and I have a lot of thoughts, some good, some bad, and I thought it might be helpful to share them in case you are thinking about watching a show or tuning in. I myself am a professional organizer. I've been doing this for 6 years. I work in a mid-sized city in central New York. My business is obviously very different from The Home Edit. I work by myself for the most part. I do not have a team of organizers that help me. I don't have a TV show. I don't work with any celebrity clients. So here are a few of my thoughts about The Home Edit on Netflix. First of all, it's a reality show, and I think we all understand that reality shows are not reality. Okay, these women are organizing spaces in full glam hair and makeup. I don't fault them for that. If I was on a TV show, I'm sure I would do the same thing, but it is a little weird for me to see someone like organizing a garage wearing false eyelashes. If you hire a professional organizer, they're probably not going to show up at your house that way. Again, I think that we all understand that. It's kind of the same way, you watch the Property Brothers, you understand real contractors don't come to your house wearing skinny jeans to demo your living room. So the episodes on Netflix are structured so that each one includes a celebrity client and then a normal client. I find the inclusion of the celebrity homes really problematic, and that is because I approach organizing from the perspective of a minimalist. I understand that not everyone is a minimalist, but I believe that most of the issues that people have with organizing their homes really stem from having an excess of things. And that in most of the homes that I work in, the real issue is just too much stuff. The main focus for me is helping people make decisions about what to keep and what to get rid of, because I find that is really where the base problem is for disorganization in people's homes. Now, even in the everyday people's homes that are organized on this show, the focus really is not on editing or decluttering or getting rid of stuff. And it's kind of ironic that the show and Clea and Joanna's business is called The Home Edit, and the focus really is nowhere on the edit. In most of these episodes, the editing process is either not addressed at all, or it takes up maybe 30 seconds of one scene where they ask the client, hey, is there anything here that you can get rid of or that you're not using? And the person might point out like 3 things, and then that's it. And in many of the episodes, the editing process isn't a part of the show at all. Now, that doesn't mean that's not happening, but it's just a little weird. And I think it fosters this very unrealistic expectation for the people who are watching the show. If you work with a professional organizer, they are most likely going to suggest that you get rid of some things, and they are hopefully going to help you through that process. That is really the focus of my service, and I find it's what people need the most help with. Another unrealistic aspect of this show is that Clea and Joanna do the majority of the work without the client present. So they meet with them initially for kind of a consultation, and then they shoo the person away, and then the client comes back and their home is magically transformed into this like perfectly organized, labeled rainbow order space. And that is unrealistic. Again, the majority of the time of this process is really going to be about going through the things and deciding what can stay and what can go. And that part really is skimmed over. And instead, the focus is all on the containers and the systems that they're putting in place to hold the people's stuff. So the focus on containers, or as they call it in the show, product, is also something that I think is problematic. It gives the impression that the answer to all of your organizing issues is going to the container store and spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on these cool matching bins and putting a fancy label on them, and suddenly all of your organizing issues will go away. That is not true. And I would argue you can be organized without any fancy containers from the container store. And I'm getting a little heated now, but really the show serves as a commercial for the container store. And this is my biggest issue, is that every single episode involves them making a run to the store for product, bringing it in with the bags clearly shown, and them just using so many things, so many plastic bins. And it really just gives this impression that that is the whole focus of organizing. And I would argue that the container is not the important thing. What's going on in your head and what your emotional attachments are to your stuff is really the problem if you are disorganized. No matter how beautiful the system is that has been set up, if you haven't changed your mindset, you are not going to maintain that system. And the show touches on this a little bit with a few of the celebrity clients. They come in and say, oh, we worked with this person 2 years ago, and now we're going back because she basically has got more stuff and we need to redo the system. Now, this works great if you're a celebrity and you have essentially unlimited funds to hire an organizer and to buy containers or shelving or whatever. But for the average person, this is not the answer. For the average person who does not have unlimited funds, having a team of professional organizers come and redo your spaces repeatedly is not practical. And the people who contact me for help, they want to make a permanent change. They want to organize their home, but they want it to continue to stay organized over time. They don't want to just slide back to the old habits that have allowed their home to get to the state that it's in. And so that is really the focus of my service, is to give people the tools to continue doing this themselves moving forward and to make a permanent change in the way they think about their stuff. For Joanna and Clea and the fact that they work with a lot of celebrities, it actually serves them very well in terms of their business to not make permanent changes in people's mindsets and to have them repeatedly have them come back and tweak the system and go through and reorganize things on repeat. And I guess you might look at that and say, well, they are more successful businesswomen than you are, Carrie, because they've kind of figured this out. I guess morally, that doesn't sit well with me. The idea that I'm just going to go in and make things look good today, and then, in 6 months, you're going to be calling me because it's a mess again and I have to come in and fix it. That feels icky to me, to be totally honest. If you check out the Home Edits Instagram account, it is beautiful, and their whole thing is rainbow order, putting things in order by color, and it looks fantastic in terms of social media. But I guess the rainbow order doesn't always make the most sense, and I feel like they always fall back to that because of the way it looks and because it's going to get likes online. But for example, they do a playroom for Neil Patrick Harris, and they organize all of the board games in rainbow order on a shelf, and they look great, I will admit. But the question is that really the best way to organize board games? Would organizing them by type of game maybe make more sense? And it also brings up the question of maintenance. Another thing that they did in that playroom space is they organized all of their Legos by color. I spoke with a friend of mine who is a child care expert, and I just said to her, is that the best way to organize Legos, do you think? Like, as far as your kids using them? And she just said, that is gonna last like for 10 minutes. And as soon as the kid dumps the Legos out, the rainbow order bins of Legos are gonna be out the window. And she said, trying to organize Legos for kids is really a very temporary solution. If you take a look at the Home Edits Instagram account, you will find that the Container Store company likes and pretty much comments on every one of their posts. Kudos to them for getting corporate sponsorship, but it just brings into question, what is the point of the show? Is it to really help people learn how to be organized, or is it to sell more products for the Container Store? And it appears to me that the latter really is the main focus of the show. I was scrolling through comments on their Instagram account, and I came across this comment that really kind of summed up part of what was bothering me about the Home Edit show, and I'm going to read it. I usually love your content, but this seems super tone deaf. People are dying, our country is in economic crises, and many people have lost their jobs and are on the brink of losing everything. But yes, tell me how these celebrities now have organized closets. That's pretty harsh. And, I'm all about escapist entertainment, and I will totally admit to watching a lot of fluff during the pandemic just because I need a break from things. And if this show serves you in that way, if seeing how celebrities like Reese Witherspoon and Khloe Kardashian organize their closets and their garage, I'm not going to sit here and say you shouldn't watch this or that you're wrong for liking it. If this kind of thing feels satisfying or fun for you to see, watch and enjoy the show. But I don't want people to watch the show thinking this is a realistic view of what it's like to get your home organized by a professional organizer. I don't want people to watch this show and think I'm going to learn something about organizing my home from watching the show, because I don't really think you're going to learn a lot other than, gee, if I only had an unlimited bank account to hire a team of people and to buy all of these great containers at the Container Store, that will be the answer to my problems. If your home is in disarray, if you are surrounded by clutter in your home, the answer is not just rearranging things. And this is a hard thing for people to hear. It's a lot more fun to hear, oh, we can put everything rainbow order and then all your problems will be solved. But if you don't get at the heart of excess consumption, then you are never going to have an organized home. And it's one thing for a celebrity who has a massive mansion to take part in excessive consumption of consumer goods. But for the average person with the average size home, just continuing to buy more and more and more stuff is going to make your home a disaster. And this is the thing that is not portrayed accurately on the show. And like I said, just the mindset piece of this is completely ignored, in my opinion. And that is setting people up for failure if they try to implement these ideas in their own home where they have limited space and they have limited funds. So this was kind of harsh and critical about the show, The Home Edit, and that's not really my intention. I just want to put out there the opinions of a professional organizer who takes a different approach from these women and whose business is very different. And I think that I represent a more realistic view of what hiring a professional organizer would be like. If you're looking for escapist entertainment, I think the show does a good job with that. And by all means, enjoy it for those reasons. But I think that the show is promoting excess consumerism through both its featuring of celebrities and celebrity homes, and also by featuring the Container Store so prominently. And I just personally, that doesn't resonate for me. So if excess consumerism does not resonate for you, you might take issue with the show for the same reasons. And that's the main point that I want to make here. Have you watched The Home Edit? Did you enjoy it? What did you think of it? What do you think of my opinions of it? I would really like to know, and I would love to have a conversation with you about that in the comments. So please let me know your views down below. And if you liked this video or if you found it thought-provoking at all, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to continue to share information here about how to declutter your home and make it the best it can be. Talk to you soon.